Hi my strong friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking a lot about nutrition, what my past is with it, what my current is with it, what I'm going to do in the future, and how I handle everything. We're a little bit different on this background today because it is way too sunny over there, so I have to sit in the shade because I'm going to get burnt. So before we get too into it, hit that subscribe button down below. And here we go. Okay, so nutrition. I've recently started becoming a nutrition coach, and this video is going to be all about why I'm so passionate about what I do and what has brought me to get to this point. So I guess I'm going to start with my past. Growing up, my mom was a fitness instructor, and she was just really big. She was like a cardio bunny, and she did like step aerobics at home. She taught Zumba. She did just like body boot camp classes, and she was in really great shape my whole life. Now, I played sports growing up, so I was really active as well, but I never really knew anything about nutrition. My mom also was a personal trainer. So I remember being like growing up and being like, hey mom, you know, I want to lose some weight, what should I do? And she was always like, cut carbs. So that was the first thing that I ever learned about nutrition, was to lose weight, you have to cut carbs. So what did I do? I would eat like one piece of toast in the morning for breakfast, and that would be like all the carbs I had for the day. Except for then I would start getting cravings, right? And then I would like binge behind my mom's back, and I would like do all this stuff. And I would like binge and eat like oatmeal cream pies and toast and pancakes, just like all this stuff like while I was at school or whatever it was, just so that my mom wouldn't see. And I remember being 15 years old and asking my mom to get my belly button pierced. My mom told me, if you have a flat stomach, you can get your belly button pierced when you're 16, but only if you have a flat stomach. And that statement right there, honestly, I believe is what started my fear of carbs and what started my fear of eating anything. It just really is what my fear stems from, like deep down in my soul. So just going a little bit farther, again, she always told me to cut carbs, and that was how I would lose weight. So it would go like 3 days, I'd lose like 5 pounds. Obviously, now that I know what I know, it was water, right? Like I would lose water from these carbs. And then I would just be like, oh wow, I lost 5 pounds, like, I could stop now. And then I would stop, and I would gain it all back and eat carbs again. And then it was just yo-yo dieting, the best of. And it started when I was 15 years old. Here I am, I'm 22 now, and it still kind of affects me to this day, honestly. So fast forward about 4 years, cutting weight for my first competition. I wanted to be in the 165 weight class, and I weighed about 168 at the time. So I was like, oh, I gotta cut like 3 pounds. A week before my competition, I moved back to my mom's house just for a couple weeks before, because I was about to move to Hawaii. So everything, I was just living off my mom's couch, no big deal. I got there, and instead of like just like cutting carbs and like water cutting, because I didn't know what a water cut was, instead of cutting carbs, I would just like not eat. I'm not shitting you, I legit just stopped eating. I didn't eat at all. I mean, not at all, but like I would just eat like super minimal. I'd just eat like, for the whole day I probably ate like 6 eggs and a protein shake maybe, and that was for a whole week. So I lost a lot of weight. Yeah, I lost my 3 pounds. I may or may not have just spilled that on myself. I lost those 3 pounds. I lost way more than that. I remember I was so stoked. I weighed in at 158, and I remember my friend being like, Sarah, what the fuck did you just do? Oops. So I revamped, I like carbed up after I weighed in, and I ate everything, and then I bombed out of my competition. Don't do that, guys. Don't cut a bunch of weight before your competition so that you bomb. And I would just take like fat burners, and then like, I don't know if you guys know, but Adderall, if you take Adderall, it makes you not hungry. So I would just take Adderall and fat burners every day and just be like super hyped up and like jittery and like ready to go, but I just wouldn't be hungry. So I would just drink water and eat like 3 eggs for breakfast and 3 eggs for lunch, and then that's it. That's all I'd eat. And it was just really sad, honestly. It was really sad for me, and it was just another one of those really being scared of carbs. Fast forward again to moving to Hawaii. I moved here, and since I weighed in at 158, I was like, I want to cut down to the 148 weight class. Like, I don't like how I look. I was probably like 163 at the time. Like, I don't like how I look, so I want to cut down. My coach put me on a clean eating diet. I had like turkey and chicken breast and super lean steak with like broccoli. I fucking hate broccoli. Okay, guys, broccoli is like the #1 food I will not eat. I think it tastes like ass and it's disgusting. I will not eat it. But I did. I covered it in mustard and I would eat it anyway, just because I thought that's what I had to do to cut down. And I would carb cycle, only brown rice and sweet potatoes, brown rice, sweet potatoes, turkey, chicken breast, lean steak, that's it. I didn't allow myself. I would have a cheat meal on one day a week, and on that cheat meal I would just binge. As much as I could eat, as much as I could force myself to eat, it was disgusting. My stomach would be like huge afterwards, just from forcing all of that food into my stomach, because I was like, oh, this is what I'm missing, and so I need to eat all of this. I think I made 159 before I actually, so I moved places, and this other place had stupid expensive rent, and so when I moved, I got this new job, and I just, like, honestly, I couldn't afford food. Like, I was so broke that I couldn't afford to eat healthy anymore. I don't think I've ever actually told anyone that. So, hey, guys, what's up? I was at one point too broke to buy food. So, where I worked was a catering company, and they would feed us lunch because, well, I mean, it was a catering company, you know, easy. They would feed us lunch, and that was all I started eating, was like the super fatty food from the catering company. And I didn't like portion control, because that was the bulk of the food that I ate for the day was from the catering company. I would make breakfast at home, which was fine. I could make, you know, eggs are cheap. I would make eggs for breakfast with toast. Actually, I wouldn't even make toast because, again, scared of carbs. But I would make breakfast, and I'd go and I would eat like really big lunch at work, and then I would like have something small for dinner or whatever I could, you know, find on the way home. But it was like, I was stupid broke. So at that point, I just like stopped dieting, and then as soon as I stopped dieting though, my lifts skyrocketed when I stopped trying to be 148, when I stopped trying to put myself in that stupid calorie deficit. Like, it was insane how much my lifts went up. I think I went from like a 375, no. So in a year's time, I went from like a 320 deadlift to like a 400 deadlift. Just insane. Like, and it was in less than a year. It was in like 6 months, just because like I stopped dieting, I stopped trying to cut weight, I stopped putting myself on the calorie deficit, and my strength just like shot up. Insane, I'm telling you. But at that point, it was like summer, I was partying a lot, I had just turned 21, and so then I was like working a different job, partying all the time, and I was like, oh damn, like I qualified for Worlds, IPL Worlds, and I was like, getting kind of big, I'm almost like 180, and I gotta be in 165 for Worlds, so I was like, I better start cutting. What do? I cut carbs. I did the keto diet, and I'm to tell you, I did 4 months of keto. I lost like 15 pounds. Pretty good weight loss, but I was fucking miserable. Stupid miserable. I was like constipated, I wasn't happy, I wasn't energetic, I stalled my weight loss at like 168. It was like, whew, it was so miserable for me, because I love bread. Bread's like my favorite food. And I just was like, well, I have to cut carbs. I have to cut carbs. That's what I have to do to lose weight, is I have to cut carbs. And so I went to Worlds, and then as soon as I weighed in, I went, and I'm not kidding you, my plate stacked like this high, full of food. Just bread and pizza and sushi and rice, and every single carb I could think of was on this plate. It was delicious, because I hadn't had carbs in so long. And then on my keto diet, again, like when I would get those cheat days, I would binge so hard. I would give myself 2 hours of however much carbs I could eat. I remember in 2 hours eating like half a large pizza, an order of garlic knots, a large Jack in the Box French fry, and like ice cream. Oh, and ice cream, Ben & Jerry's ice cream. Oh yes, so much ice cream, so much carbs. And then I would have to, that would knock me out of ketosis, and then it would take me another 2 days to get back into ketosis. because that's how keto works, right? You have to train your body to stop getting its energy off of carbs. And it was just, it was insane. Like, I'm telling you, I was not in a healthy place. And so I got back from Worlds and I went home and I ended up gaining like 10 pounds. I mean, that's like super normal though, because I wasn't tracking my diet anymore. I wasn't doing anything. I was just happy to have carbs in my life again. So fast forward, I was like loosely just kind of like checking out what I was going to do. I was looking at if it fits your macros. I started really just like researching and reading and PubMed was like my best friend. And I'm like, if it fits your macros, okay, so I should eat like this much of this and this much of this and this much of this. And I just learned as much as I could learn. Every day I was at work just researching and reading and what's the optimal protein intake and protein synthesis, how your muscles rebuild themselves after you work out, ideal protein intake, timing, all this kind of stuff. I really got into like reading Avatar Nutrition, listening to BioLane, just everything that I could learn, I would start learning. And I realized like carbs aren't the bad guy. I just burped, excuse me. Carbs aren't the bad guy. Brain explosion, knowledge bomb dropped. It took me so long, I was fearing this, like carbs and like carbs are bad. Carbs are bad and they make you fat, and if you eat them after 5 p.m. you're gonna get fat, and if you do this and you eat them you're gonna get fat. And so I was like, can't eat carbs. But then, right, the knowledge bomb was dropped in my head and all I could do was like, you mean to tell me I can eat whatever I want and lose weight as long as I eat the right amount? Whoa. I don't even know what's going on. So I start following the If It Fits Your Macros. I started tracking, like just tracking everything. I weigh everything. I check out what's going on, and it's changed my life, right? Oh. So I'm like tracking and I'm like, okay, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. So before I start like really tracking, I'm like loosely tracking, kind of like intuitive eating. I lose like a couple pounds, but I'm still like 180s. I actually feel really great about myself. I've like gained like a lot of muscle, but I'm like still 180 and I have to compete 165. So I end up doing a huge, massive water cut for my competition, cut 17 pounds, made it to 167, passed out, blacking out, like all this bad stuff. So after the competition, after I didn't make weight, it was like, all right, it's time to get my shit together. That's when I started tracking everything. Boom, knowledge bombs, all that kind of stuff. And it's been 2 weeks, she looked at me. No, not the right song. No, it's been about 2 months now since the meet, and I've lost about 10 pounds. It's about a pound a week just by tracking everything. I still get to eat my burritos. I eat donuts. I love ice cream. I get to sample the stuff that my roommate brings home because she's a chef, and I have to tell you, I've never been happier. Never been, I don't know if I've maybe have been leaner like when I was, miserable, but I've never been happier with how I look and my relationship towards food. And that brings me to my last point. I want to help you, yes, you, get to this point. Because what if I told you that you can lose weight and get stronger at the same time? Whoa. Knowledge bombs or what? I want to help you, okay? Because I hear too many people doing these huge water cuts like I did. I hear too many people being miserable because they're clean eating and eating broccoli and they hate broccoli. I hate broccoli too, okay? I hate broccoli too. I want to help you get to the same healthy relationship that I have with food. I want you to get leaner, get stronger. I want to help you achieve your goals through nutrition. And if you want those goals from me, send me a message. I'll put my email right here. I'll also put my email in the description box down below. But this is what I do for people, okay? I want to serve you. I want to help you reach your goals. I want you to get stronger, and I want you to be leaner, and I want you to be healthier, and I want you to be as happy as I am. I want you to be as happy as my clients are. I want you to get to that place in powerlifting where you're strong and lean and happy with your body, happy with your relationship with food, and happy with yourself, that you're no longer fearing those things. You're no longer going and doing 2 hours of cardio because you ate a donut. Like, you don't have to go do 2 hours of cardio before you did a donut. Someone told me that their coach told them they had to do an hour of HIIT training. HIIT training, high intensity interval training, for an hour a day. Fire them immediately. If your trainer tells you you can eat this and you can't eat this, fire them. They're like, why? Why would you ever pay someone to tell you that, okay? If you're interested in this and you're interested in listening to me and hearing more about this, send me a message. I want to hear from you. I want to hear about what your struggles are. I want to hear about how you are ready to change your life, okay? Because I'm not just here to change your physique. I'm here to change your life, all right? I want you not to just lose weight. I want you to feel better. I want you to feel better mentally. I want you to feel better physically. And that's what I'm here for. If this story struck a chord for you, please leave me a comment down below. Hit the like button. If you feel that icky past that you had with food is stopping you from your progress, send me a message. Please, I want to hear from you. Thank you for watching again. I love you guys so much. I'll see you next time.